Snack boards, charcuterie, girl dinner, whatever you want to call it. Traditionally, we think of different types of meats and cheeses with maybe some fruit and then something kind of salty or briny. But frankly, you can mix together anything that you want. So I'm exploring 5 levels of snack boards to satisfy whatever amount of effort you want to put into this. I'm all about what I call low lift luxury. And honestly, luxury is whatever you make of it. Not only will I walk you through each level, but we'll tally it up and give you an approximate cost. And then you can choose whichever level of these snack boards is worth it for you. Level 1 of our snack boards. This is a pre-made charcuterie board, picked it up at Target. Price ranges about $12.99. I paid about $15.50 here in New York City. We've got olives, salami, cheese, chocolate covered cashews, I guess 2 salamis, and then some crackers. I think this is gonna be good for just a couple of people. You're just snacking, chatting. If you are invited to a party and you bring a hostess gift, because that's what you do, bring this for your hostess, assuming they eat this kind of thing. Give a little note that this is for the day after the party, for them, when they are completely zonked out from hosting, because that takes so much energy. If someone gave this to me as a hostess gift and said, this is for you tomorrow, they would just blow my socks off with the thoughtfulness of it. Well, let's taste it. Actual green olive. I'm not offended by this so far. This isn't going to be the best thing you've ever eaten, but it's really nice, quite convenient that everything has been put together for you. I am impressed with these chocolate covered cashews. That seems a little decadent for this. Usually this is like $15 just by itself. Okay, I obviously don't know the quality of the meats here, but I think it's pretty good value, especially given the convenience. This was fun.
The next snack board is a convenience store, or here in New York, a bodega, and I can only spend $30. I'll probably spend a little bit more because I know New York prices are probably higher than in other parts of the country. Is there a strategy? No, not really. Okay, I came out at $32 for all of this. I think that's pretty close. And now I am off to have a glass of rosé with Francois because it's 60 degrees outside and everyone wants to get out of their apartments.
Beef jerky. From there, I want sour cream and onion. You know, those spicy wasabi chickpeas would be good here too. From there, I'm going to go straight to sweet. I realized I forgot something nutty. That's a shame. Okay, let's go to vanilla wafers because they're, other than being sweet, they're pretty neutral. They can be the palate cleanser. We've got some great colors. The more variety you can get in colors, the more appetizing it's going to look too. And a few Pocky sticks. Salty to tart to spicy to sweet to cheesy, sweet-ish, and more sweet, back to the salty. Anytime you're organizing a snack board or a charcuterie board or whatever, the goal of your pairings is to get you into this delicious little cycle where you're just chasing flavors, and the aftertaste of what you just ate is complementing like the next bite that you take. That's the goal, right? And generally you would arrange the board by these complementing flavors being right next to each other. I personally like to skip around. I like the decision-making part of it. So let's say you start with this state-flavored sea salt chocolate. It's a very like grounded kind of, it's not sharp, it's not too sweet. Like you might forget you're tasting chocolate. It just tastes good. I would then go to the raspberries and then to the yogurt covered pretzels. Lean a little more into that saltiness with these salted roasted peanuts. They get very nutty. I'm gonna wanna complement that nutty with my prosciutto flavored chips because they're like nutty, stinky, salty. Then I'm gonna go to another stinky, which is the blue cheese stuffed olives. I'm gonna go back to the chocolate after that because the blue cheese and the chocolate complement each other. I'm ready for a palate cleanser at this point, so I'm gonna go to my salsa. And then I'm gonna want a little bit of sweet, so I went to the ginger snaps, and then to my dates, and then back to the chocolate. You can skip around to the chocolate at any point, frankly. And that is how we work ourselves into this delicious, never-ending cycle of yap and snack. The next time I have a friend coming over and we don't want to have a meal, we just want to hang out, like this is the kind of thing that you make. Less than $70. And that's with fancy chips. Moving on up to the surfboard, all of this seafood can be found at oceanbox.com except for the oysters. Frankly, they were my least favorite. This might even be better without those. If you live in New York City, you can also source all of this at Aqua's Best in the Lower East Side. Here's what I put on my surfboard. Tahini crab salad with endive, tuna sashimi, snow crab claws, oysters, a scallop tartare, baked scallops,
seafood salad, and salmon roe. The scallops are baked in a garlicky breadcrumb, which I have a separate video on that already, and that is in the All About Scallops playlist. The scallop tartare is inspired by Contramar in Mexico City. They have a scallop tartare tostada in some sort of a spicy dressing. I don't think theirs was a mayonnaise base, but that's all I knew to mix this with. So this is just mayonnaise and chili crisp and lime juice. We have tuna sashimi. This looks like candy. It's beautiful. We ate them plain. I also had a little bowl of furikake to dip it in and some gyoza sauce. The crab salad is tinned lump crab meat mixed with mayonnaise, tahini, soy sauce. It's very thin, so you may not use all of the dressing. And actually, this is just half of a can of the crab meat. I saved the other half for something else. I dressed it with sliced cucumber and green onions. Sesame seeds could also work. And finally, we added a seaweed salad and salmon roe to top off the board. The oysters, we had a mix of both plain and dressed with some of the salmon roe, and I forget what else was on there, but basically we probably should have just left them plain. And Navy got her own little surfboard. This was the endive stalks, the feet from the scallops that I pulled off, some of the scrap meat from the tuna tartare, and the cucumber. All together, this was about $200. This was the inspiration for this whole video. It was New Year's Day. A couple of days before New Year's Day, we decided we wanted to just, smorgasbord on seafood, just stuff our faces with seafood. So we started thinking about all the things we wanted to eat. And then I had some stuff in the freezer from Ocean Box. I went to the seafood store and got the other stuff and then just got inspired at the seafood store as well. And we served this with a very cool, dry sake. It was a great day. This is the $2,000 snack board-ish because you mostly need to fly to France to get all the stuff. You can probably find other brand equivalents on Amazon and things like that. All of these people traveling to like Paris and then getting the butter vacuum sealed and bringing that back as a food souvenir, you are missing out. This is the food souvenir stuff to get. This is all from Monoprix, which is one of their big chain grocery stores. It's their brand, probably knockoffs of other things. Actually, if you happen to make it onto Air France business class, they serve these, the crepe dentelle from the original brand, probably. It's called Gavotte. And this is a lot cheaper than business class airfare. So I'm making a snack board with all of my favorite French grocery store snack items. This is all Monoprix gourmet. So it's a little high end for the Monoprix, like their basic grocery store. But compared to what we get here in the US, this is really special. I don't think we have anything like this. Okay, so first up, this is what we call crepe dentelle. I don't know how to describe the crepe. It's like a light wafer. Anyhow, this is filled with cheddar cheese. I have one that's filled with Roquefort cheese as well. That's not going on the board because I think the Roquefort is too strong for everything else. I would do the Roquefort version with like a martini and some olives, just. But the cheddar, I think, goes quite well with all of the chocolate that I have. The next is what's called meringue ou noisette. Noisette is hazelnut. Meringue is meringue. It's basically two thin meringue cookies with some hazelnut cream in the middle with a little milk chocolate around the side and then rolled in some crushed hazelnut on top. Crepe dentelle, the sweet version. This is the milk chocolate version, also comes in a dark chocolate version. I'm going also with the natural version because jumping between, I think, the sweet and savory, it's just too like single dimensional. Like I want to have a little something else, and I'm not doing anything briny on this board. Normally you would want sweet, salty, briny, and something else, a fourth creamy thing. This is also a tiny little, it's a caramel tart. I forget if there's chocolate in there. I really can't taste it, but it's a tiny little caramel tart. Also Monoprix Gourmet. And then this is a couple of things from the Lou brand. Probably find these anywhere. So we have this chocolate and orange Pims. I buy these in France or abroad really because I think they taste funny in the US. Maybe I'm being pretentious, but the chocolate is really good on these. And then these are Fig Newtons. I haven't had a Fig Newton in years. I don't remember how they taste here in the US, but I will eat this entire sleeve in one sitting. It's so good. Not overly sweet. And then the final piece is mini torsades. It's just kind of like a puff pastry-ish that gets twisted, and they worked in some Gruyere cheese into these. All of this is getting anchored down with, look at this cute little bottle of wine. It's a mini bottle of wine.
I brought back a few of these just so I could try some really different versions or different types of wines that I'm not used to having. This is a Chateauneuf du Pape. Like a large bottle is almost always really expensive, more than I usually want to spend on a bottle of wine. So I got a little half bottle. I'm not going to open this right now, but it's here for the show. And look at this cute tiny glass. All right, let's assemble. This is a lot of sweets for a girl dinner, so this is really more of an afternoon thing. I'm trying to make some effort to balance the flavors here. Ideally, I want one flavor to make me crave another, and so I can just kind of cycle through the whole board. All right, let's get in some savory. These are so good, I can't believe I didn't bring in more boxes. And then just a few of the torsades. If this were an actual charcuterie board, let's see what we'd have. Sweet, there's always a little fig jam. Can we consider this the nut? The meringue ou noisette, is that my nut component? And then I have 2 cheeses, and then this could work as fruit, right? It's orange jam. Can't forget our grapes. Ooh la la. The cheddar was €3. A box of the Pims, $1.85. Meringue ou noisette was $2.75 each. The box of these little tartlets was $1.85. This is why it's worth taking a giant bag to just bring back all of this stuff. Now, out of all of these, which one did I like the best? The surfboard, because that was the genuine motivation for this whole video. It was really fun. That, for me, encapsulated the whole purpose of a snack board. You just put it out there and help yourself throughout the day whenever you want. And it felt real decadent. And because all the seafood was super fresh, I didn't have to do that much cooking or prep for it, which totally falls in line with my personal brand of like, I don't want to fuss with stuff. It just needs to be good. So as a recap, we had the Target charcuterie board at $13 to $15, the Bodega snack board at around $30, the sweet and salty snack board at about $70, the Surfboard at about $200, and of course the French snacks at, I don't know, some obscene 4-figure number for airfare and traveling abroad. So that's it for the 5 levels of snack boards. Let me know what you think. Have you built one yourself? Would you try any of these? What did I miss?